turns to 7. Let's call the meeting to order.
Silence call. I'll try that again, Russ. There we go.
I'm bad, by the way.
Can you hear me?
I can now.
Nice to meet you. Okay.
Just a second, let me take off. There we go. Yeah, I don't know what the deal is with,
Okay.
my phone wasn't working either. Must
All
have
right.
bad service inside your counter, but I'm calling you from my wife's phone right
Okay. We're going to start the meeting here, Russ.
now. Okay, sounds good.
I call the March meeting of the Bold School District to order. We have all board members present tonight at the meeting. We have one guest and Derek with administration with as well. With that, let's please, I'll read the mission statement. That is to provide all learners in the Bold community an education designed to develop the creativity, character, confidence, and skills essential to flourish in a changing global society. So with that, would everyone stand for the Pledge of Allegiance, please? I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So thank you to those who are visiting tonight online as well as in the audience here at the meeting room. So thank you for that. And then our next item is item number 5. So I welcome Brad Ostef to the board. And Brad will have you stand and recite your acceptance of office.
I hereby accept the office of school board member for the Independent School District number 2534 for a term beginning March 25th, 2024, expiring the first Monday in January 2025.
Would you please recite the oath of office?
I swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and this state. I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of school board member of Independent School District number 2534 to the best of my judgment and ability.
Thank you. Welcome to the board, Brad.
Thank you.
Did you skip the 2 and 3?
Oh, I'm sorry. I did.
Whoops.
You want to get going,
Just
don't you?
the, let's approve the agenda. Is there a motion?
So move, Benson.
Is there a second?
I'll second. Go ahead.
It's been moved by member Benson and seconded by member Papel to approve the agenda as published. Any discussion or changes? Any discussion or changes? Any discussion or changes? Okay, hearing none. Let's move to vote on approving the agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and all opposed? Motion carries to approve the agenda. Okay. Brad, I am going to have you redo your acceptance of office and oath for the fact that the agenda wasn't approved before we had you do it. So
All right.
my apologies for that.
I hereby accept the office of school board member of Independent School District number 2534 for a term beginning March 25th, 2024, expiring first Monday in January 2025. I swear or affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and this state, and I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of school board member of Independent School District number 2534 to the best of my judgment and ability.
Thank you. Welcome to the board.
Welcome back.
Okay.
Glad we didn't get to the end of the meeting.
I appreciate you saying that I had oversaw that or missed that.
You didn't
So,
do the recognition of visitors either.
You did early.
Not that we don't have any, but just,
So
we're good there.
we're good there. So, okay. The next item, and not skipping any, is the public forum. Is there anyone here wishing to speak tonight? Anyone wishing to speak? Anyone wishing to speak? Okay, we have no one wishing to speak in the public forum tonight, so we will move on to item 7. Those are our consent items. For those who are newest to the board, we only need one motion to approve the consent items, and any item that's requested to be removed from the consent agenda by a member will be discussed and acted on for independent consideration immediately following approval of the consent agenda. So we have two items. One would be to approve our bills for payment, and the second would be to approve our minutes from the February 26th, 2024 regular meeting, which is enclosure number 1 in the packet. Is there a motion? Is there a second? It's been moved by member Bowen and seconded by member Peppel to approve the two consent items. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, we will move to vote on approving the consent items. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries to approve the consent items on the agenda. All right, we will now move on to section 8, personnel. The first one would be to approve our 2023 through 2024 spring coaching assignments. That's enclosure number 2. Is there a motion?
I so move that we accept those assignments.
Okay, is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved by member Klaus and seconded by member Bowen to approve the 2023 through 2024 spring coaching assignments as published in the packet as enclosure number 2. I assume that having the same individual as volunteer softball coach listed twice is an error and should only be listed once.
Is she listed as junior high or,
It says volunteer softball coach.
so we had a change there and that might be why there was a mistake. I don't have it in front of me.
Yeah.
It's not gonna affect.
Oh, that Aaron's in there twice?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, you can just strike one of them. It's just a,
Okay, so just strike the lower volunteer softball coach off. So, thank you, Derek.
Yep.
Okay, any discussion or questions on the coaching assignments? Any discussion or questions? Any discussion or questions? Okay. Hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. Because it's hiring, we'll be doing a voice vote, or each individual. And Brad and Mariella, just because you're newer to the board, if you have a direct relationship to an individual being hired, you should be abstaining during the vote process, just for reference. It's part of policy, and if you ever have any questions about that, please always ask. So, okay. So we'll proceed to vote. Member Peppel
Abstain.
is an abstain. Member Sheehan.
I have to abstain.
No, I'm asking for your vote.
With Evan, is this aye?
You can vote because it is not a direct relative.
Okay. Aye.
Member Klaus.
Aye.
Member Benson.
Aye.
Member Bowen.
Aye.
Member Asa.
Aye.
Okay. Jessica,
She's my daughter.
you should be abstaining then
Okay.
because of, or wait, no.
But this is what happened.
Correct. You're right. Daughter-in-law. Yeah. You're good. You can say aye. And then myself, I am an aye as well. So we have the one abstain. And motion carries to approve the 2023 through 2024 spring coaching assignments. Yep. Okay. Okay, number 2, that would be to approve the hiring of Evan Peppel as junior high track coach for the 2023 through 2024 school year. Is there a motion?
So move Benson.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
It's been moved by member Benson and seconded by member Klaus to approve the hiring of Evan Peppel as junior high track coach for the 2023 through 2024 school year. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Okay, hearing none, we'll proceed to vote. This will be again a roll call vote. Member Peppel,
Abstain.
abstain. Member Sheehan,
Aye.
member Klaus,
Aye.
member Benson,
Aye.
member Bowen.
Aye.
Member Asa,
Aye.
and member Frank, myself, I am an aye as well. Motion carries to approve the hiring of Evan Peppel as the junior high track coach for the 2023 through 2024 school year. Okay, number 3, that would be approve the hiring of Skylar Schmidt-Redera as the junior high track coach for the 2023 through 2024 school year. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there
Peppel.
a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved by member Peppel and seconded by member Benson to approve the hiring of Skylar Schmidt-Redera as the junior high track coach for the 2023 through 2024 school year. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion, we will move to vote. Be a roll call vote again. Member Peppel,
Aye.
member Sheehan,
Aye.
member Klaus,
Aye.
member Benson,
Aye.
member Bowen.
Aye.
And member Asa.
Aye.
And I, member Frank, am an aye as well. Motion carries to approve the hiring of Skylar Schmidt-Redera as the junior high track coach for the 2023 through 2024 school year. Okay, on to item number 4. That would be to approve the hiring of Abby Esser as the junior high softball coach for the 2023 through 2024 school year. Is there a motion?
I so move.
I'll second.
Okay, so Klaus and Bowen. Okay, it's been moved by member Klaus and seconded by member Bowen to approve the hiring of Abby Esser as the junior high softball coach for the 2023 through 2024 school year. Any discussion? Any discussion? Discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion, we'll proceed to a roll call vote. Member Peppel,
Aye.
member Sheehan,
Aye.
member Klaus,
Aye.
member Benson,
Aye.
member Bowen,
Aye.
member Asa,
Aye.
and I, member Frank, am an aye as well. Motion carries unanimously to approve the hiring of Abby Esser as the junior high softball coach for the 2023 through 2024 school year. Okay, item 5, that would be now to approve the resignation of Carrie Hadler, paraprofessional, effective March 4th, 2024. Is there a motion?
So moved. Peppel.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
It's been moved by member Peppel and seconded by member Benson to approve the resignation of Carrie Hadler, paraprofessional, effective March 4th, 2024. Any discussion?
Just a point of question, is this the same person that we just hired at the last board meeting? Is this the same individual? Okay, thank you.
Any other discussion or questions? Any other discussions or questions? Okay, hearing none, we will proceed to vote. This will just be a voice vote, yes or no, as a group, because it's a resignation. All in favor to approve the resignation of Carrie Hadler, paraprofessional, effective March 4th, 2024, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carries to approve the resignation of Carrie Hadler, paraprofessional, effective March 4th, 2024. Item 6, that would be to approve the immediate resignation of Taylor Caspers, STEAM teacher, effective March 18th, 2024. Is there a motion?
So move Benson.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
It's been moved by member Benson and seconded by member Klaus to approve the immediate resignation of Taylor Caspers, STEAM teacher, effective March 18th, 2024. Any discussion? Any discussion? Any dis-
doing? Somebody was looking, is it just
No plan yet.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion? Any questions or discussion? Okay. Hearing no more questions or discussion, we'll proceed to vote on approving the immediate resignation of Taylor Casper, STEAM teacher, effective March 18th, 2024. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carries to approve the immediate resignation of Taylor Casper, STEAM teacher, effective March 18th, 2024. Okay, let's now move on to reports. So the first would be Jim with the superintendent report.
All right, the first one, we've got some asbestos issues over in 6 of the elementary rooms. It really happened over Christmas break. We had the pneumatic system kind of went haywire, and it was about between 110 to 130 degrees in most of those rooms over there. And it caused some of the tiles to start popping up, and those are old 10 by 10 tiles, which we assumed were asbestos. We talked to IEA. There we go, IEA. Don't want to say the wrong one. And they have approved a temporary plan where we've got them covered. We pulled out the small bits of tile that we could, but we've got it covered with rugs. They said that's fine, but we've got to get it fixed. So one of the things that we're working on, we're also having the asbestos removed from the boiler area this summer, or this spring rather. We're trying to figure out how we can best do this, because we also know that there's asbestos that has to be removed in all of the rooms, and there's asbestos in parts of the hallway over there. It would be a heck of a lot cheaper to do this all at once, but it's going to possibly be problematic. So that's something we're working through, and Denny's been on the phone with a gentleman who is coming out or has been out to take a look at this, and they're putting together a proposal, both doing all of it and then doing part of it. So we'll be seeing that in the near future here. I just wanted to let you know that that's out there.
So would that be something done prior to any renovations here at school?
Yeah, so that's part of the other part of the problem is that it's really inconvenient timing, because we're not ready to do like all the floor coverings and everything in there. So we'll probably end up having to use like temporary carpet, or we've talked of a number of things that we might have to do, but we're still kind of in the process of figuring out a plan for that. And really it's kind of hinging on how much the quotes are.
How big area is this, Jim?
The elementary wing.
The whole floor in those rooms, or just a portion?
It's just a small bit in each room, but some of them are, a little bit longer area than others. Again, we've got it covered with a rug, and they said that's adequate. We're doing weekly inspections on it now, and a few other things that Denny's got on his list that we're going to monitor and make sure it's not getting worse. And if it is getting worse, we'll take action on that. Yeah, any other questions on that? Russ, do you have anything you'd want to add on that?
No, it is tricky, with those 6 classrooms, because they would sit without flooring if you just abated it all and didn't cover it up for a year, but there might be the opportunity to maybe clean it up and then either paint the floor so that it's not quite as unsightly, or just seal it. So I know Denny's looking at some options, and we're helping him out in the background as much as he needs.
Can you tell those online who that is, Jim, so they know?
This is Russ Schumacher, one of the owners of Nexus, and he's been working hand in hand with our planning project here. So
Thank you.
any other questions on?
Russ, what constitutes sealing?
We would have to get some guidance from IEA, because as they would basically enclose it and abate it, it would be anything, all the particulate would be removed at that point, so it would be asbestos-free, so to speak. But it would be what can be done in order for it to be inhabitable for the next school year. And, I know the district just talked about, maybe some temporary carpet, some inexpensive carpet. Is it painting the floor? Is it, what can we do until the area is remodeled, a year down the road, and then the permanent flooring is put in?
And inexpensive carpet for 12 rooms is not inexpensive. So we'll see what we can do. We'll do the best solution and whatever is going to work the best for everyone and not break the bank. So, all right. As I learn more, I'll forward that information off to you guys. Building projects. So we've got Russ is going to talk about this here in a little bit, so I'm not going to go too much into this. But I do want to mention that this at the end of the school year, we're going to start working on a playground, track and field updates out and back on the south side of the school here. That'll allow us to fix the drainage situation over here and reroute some of the electrical that we're going to have to do in order to get the rest of the project up and running. And so we'll see that starting. We're going to see the balcony seating is going to be taken care of here this summer in the gym here in Olivia. In Bird Island, we're going to wait a little bit on that. We've pushed back the starting or the date of the musical. And so the musical will be at the beginning of October, and right after that, we're gonna tear into the gym floor over there, and replace that. We'll replace the bleachers after that. It takes about 8 weeks 6 to 8 weeks for the floor, and then get the bleachers out there, and hopefully we don't have to lose too many ball games there. Our bids have been coming back pretty good for the bleachers. They're all under budget, so that's good news. And I think Russ might be talking about that too. So we are starting up a website. I met this morning with Megan and Deb from Nexus, and the project website or the referendum website, we're going to switch over to a project website. And that's where we're going to keep updates and keep everybody informed as to what's going on. And we're also going to be sending out a postcard here in the next week or so, giving updates and then directing people to that website. Brightly, we're going to go with Brightly. It's a facilities management software, and really kind of happy with it. It's designed for schools, and it's going to help us put together an equipment replacement schedule. It's going to help us with just daily tickets. A light goes out in your room, you can use your phone, put it into that, and then we can actually have the ability to even route it to, like, maybe this person is always going to take care of light bulbs, so boom, it goes to that person, and we'll be able to keep track of all those things. It's going to help too in watching how much time we're spending on different things. Like if we're spending, if we used to spend 2 hours a week on the furnace, and now we're spending 20 hours a week on the furnace, it's going to be easy for us to monitor some of those things like that. Kind of going along with that, the website progress is going well. I don't have a date when it's going to go live. If we get it going soon enough, we'll do it during the school year. But I'm kind of leaning towards a June launch of the new website. But it's going to be nice. The current website, now that Neil is gone, nobody really knows how to make changes on it anymore. So this will be much more streamlined.
Who are you working with on that, Jim?
Aptigee. And let's see, the tech director, right now we've got Walker Shar. He's works for the co-op, and he's doing a great job in the interim. The co-op is working to find someone. I'm hoping that we have someone in place in the next few weeks I believe, I have an idea of who they are probably going to select, but I'm not positive. So I'll keep you posted on that as well. But Walker's doing a good job stepping in as a guy that doesn't know anything about Macintosh and iPads and Apples just he's doing a good job of learning and keeping up on all that stuff. The last thing I've got here is the ASME groups met. We used to have two ASME groups. One was the custodians, one was the admin assistants, cooks, and paras. They've all split up now. They're each going to be their own entity. So there'll be 4 bargaining units instead of just the 2. And it does make a lot of sense because the duties of a para are very different from the duties of an admin assistant, which are very different from the duties of a food service worker. So it sort of makes sense, and I think it's a good idea.
Will that take place after the current contract expires?
I think it's actually done now. I think it's, I'll check with Amy on that one. I'm not sure if we signed a date on that now or not, but I think it's done. I'll check into that.
Yeah, we need to look into it on how that corresponds to the existing contract, Jim. They may not be able to dissipate until the contract.
I'll look into that.
They might be able to.
They've been looking at, their rep has been here and they've been working with Amy on this. So
Okay,
I'm pretty sure that they've got all that.
So that's something they decide on their own that they do, and then they come to us and then
Yeah, we don't have any say in if they organize or not, or what
Or how
groups
they
they belong to.
organize.
Yeah, that's all on them. We're not supposed to have any comment on that really. But any other questions?
I'm just thinking if they go back to 4 groups,
I would say the people that they're all gonna come and negotiate at the same time anyway, different groups.
the different groups, but we could probably still have the same committee.
Yes, that's what I would recommend.
Yeah, to do all.
Yeah, I don't see any of that changing.
Okay. I just bring that up because we'll be talking about committees later.
Yeah, I know. I knew what you were thinking there.
Got it. Okay. Thank you, Jim. Anything else for Jim from the board? Okay, let's move on to the item B under reports. That's our K through 12 principal report. That's enclosure 3 in the packet. Brett is not here this evening, but everyone knows if you have a question, you can feel free to email Brett and ask.
Yeah, I think the big one is the MCA test coming up here on week of April 6th. So
Okay.
Just need 3%. That one.
I don't remember exactly which. It's the elementary and
Starts
then,
in 3rd,
yeah.
is it through 10th, 3rd through 10th?
Well, so it's elementary and then it's the 9th and 11th graders are doing the science. They've changed it up now. I might get the subjects and the grade levels wrong.
That's right.
5th grade is science,
Yeah, but then also the high
high
school
school, high
science.
school, yeah.
I think that's in 10th grade.
Okay. Any other questions around the K through 12 principal report? All right, let's move on then to item C, our activities report, enclosure 4. Derek, do you have anything you want to bring up around that? No. Or highlight? Okay. Any questions by the board?
We've got a choir concert tomorrow. I'm glad we didn't have to reschedule. So come out and see the choir.
Any other questions? Okay, let's move on then to item D. That would be our community education report, enclosure 5 in the packet. Derek, anything you want to highlight? Nope.
No, it's
Okay.
almost exclusively from the YMCA program on this one.
Okay. Any questions?
Well, just as a comparison, because I'm new with the YMCA and day camp, we currently have 10 kids registered for full day camp. What was it last year? Do you have any?
Last year, they were just shy of 20, I think,
Okay,
but it ebbs and flows from week to week. So
Okay.
it's not necessarily, they don't sign up for the whole summer. They can pick and choose any week or group of weeks through the summer that they want.
And that could change from here to then anyway. I mean, we could, it
Yeah,
could
we
get
can certainly-
added. Okay.
I know they had a push with their early registration period, and that's kind of where they got up to this number. But there'll still be some that'll linger, and even through the summer last year, we grew as the summer went on.
what age groups does that encompass?
That is a great question. Around that kindergarten age to 6th grade, I believe is what we've been sending the reminders out to.
Okay.
For kids in the building, it's been going to K-6, either K-6 or pre-K-6, one of the two. I'm not sure if preschool will do it or not.
I think it's K6.
Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, hearing no more questions, let's move on to item E, our pool report, enclosure number 6. Anything on the pool by the board?
I guess I was disappointed that the lifeguarding class was canceled. You know, we're just opening the pool. We're looking for people to staff this. And I don't know if it was just the lifeguarding was open to like communities in the area, or was it open just to Bold students? I don't know how that was advertised. But that's concerning. If we don't have staff, we're not going to be able to have that pool open. And that was a huge concern, both from the board and from the city perspective, is that we utilize that pool. So, and maybe Tracy's the one we need to go to find out, are there incentives? It's expensive to train. It's a lot of time. It's physically challenging because it's all done in one weekend.
Todd or Greg, you're on the pool board committee. Would you follow up with Tracy and find out about Marielle's question? And then let Jim and Marielle know the answer, please.
Sure. Send it to me and I'll just forward it to the whole board.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's also people don't like to get out and do things anymore. And so it's hard to find people that are looking to be a lifeguard.
And I think especially like students, I'd love to see where, because I know it's not exactly cheap. You will get your lifeguard certification, but I hope they can look at something along the lines of where if they're willing to commit so many hours of work that maybe their education is paid for. You know, it's just as a reciprocation of so many hours of effort put in for work.
That's a good idea.
Just as a way to encourage kids to, apply, as opposed to it's like, well, it's gonna cost you $300, or I don't know what the number is, if it's $100 or.
I think I saw it at 150 somewhere.
Yeah, and I'd hate that to be restricting a kid from registering to become a lifeguard. So just my 2 cents there.
Okay, anything else on the pool? Okay, thank you. Let's move now on to item F, our facilities report. So I have enclosure 7. Any questions by the board on the facilities report? Okay, with that, let's move to sub-item 1, and I assume Russ is going to give us an update now.
Russ is going to give us an update. I'm going to move the camera so it's facing the TV.
Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for letting me present remotely today. You can obviously see the power plant. Let me make sure it's working. Yeah, there we go.
It is
Thank you.
working.
Give me some time. What we wanted to do is just give you an update of what's been happening in the design process. We've been meeting about every 3 weeks since November, since late November, since the passage of the referendum with the district design team. We've also had user groups, which are the different groups, whether it's teachers, the kitchen, the athletics, music, all of the different science, all of the different users that are going to inhabit the space. We've had 3 rounds of meetings with them as well to have input shaping their spaces and how they're going to be utilized. That information has been taken back to our design team, who's feverishly working on getting that drawn up. And at next month's board meeting, we'll want to give you the 50% complete update of the floor plan so you can see where things are at and get your input before we move on to the next step, which is kind of getting it, moving it to the 95% and review, which you'll see again. And then the major project will issue at the end of July. But between now and then, we definitely wanted to get some things done. So I'd like to review the work that will happen in summer and fall of 2024, where we're at. Some of the items were from a dollar perspective within state statute to get competitive quotes. Didn't require advertisement and full-on plans and specs to go out. We were able to get some initial quotes, competitive quotes on a lot of items that we can move forward with. And I have a list of those that I'll review shortly. I also want to review the site plan review, which is going to go out next Monday, and we'll hit the streets to be bid on the 16th of next month and presented at the next board meeting as well. Hopefully we get good participation. We're going to reach out to local contractors, work to get good bid coverage and hopefully good bids, which will be kind of that first site work that Jim was talking about. We'll talk about that a little bit as well. And then any questions you may have at the end. As far as the work that we could just obtain quotes, and that is from a state statute, anything between $25,000 and $175,000. We issued documents, scope documents, bid documents, and then got multiple quotes for the items. Those were all sent to Amy and Jim, and then the low provider, the winning quote was awarded the work. Some of the work we still have to get some costs put together. That we have some allowances in there. We want to work with some local contractors for that, local painters, some local flooring folks, and then also we have to work through the demo of some bleachers. But as Jim said, the stage curtains at Bird Island, those were awarded. The stage lighting, those were awarded as well. Painting the stage walls and the VCT floor replacement of the stage. We want to work with some of your local folks for that. So we'll be soliciting some participation here shortly. Todd Richter, our project manager on the construction side, will be engaged here shortly. We have a call on it Wednesday to get the process started. We did bid out the main gym bleachers at Bird Island. Half of them will be fixed to the wall. The other half will be fixed as well, but they'll be able to be unfixed and rotated and set in groups of 20 rows that can be, 20-foot sections. 20-foot sections. They can be unhinged and turned 90 degrees for theatrical performances. The wood floor, the gym main wood floor in the gym, as Jim talked about, we worked with Derek on that as far as the initial striping to get numbers back. FL Sanders, who is the supplier, contractor that's going to do the work, is currently working up a colored rendering that Derek will see and have input in before, as far as getting, kind of a shaded area around the 3-point line, how you want it striped, how you want some of the stuff colored. That's forthcoming. We'll probably should have that in about 3 weeks. The asbestos abatement that Jim had alluded to, including the floor, the stage floor in Bird Island. We pre-purchased an oven. We had an oven that was failing. It was purchased so that it can be used over this next school year until the kitchen is done long term, and that oven will be moved from existing kitchen to new kitchen. At Olivia, the small gym bleachers, those also were awarded to SAFE, as well as the mezzanine seating up above the upper gym. We also had to pre-purchase some electrical switch gear, As many of you, if you're in the construction business or know anybody, electrical gear is crazy from a lead time perspective. It takes a year to get some of these pieces of equipment. We especially generators and big panels, so we ordered those ahead of time. And we have to work through the bleacher demo and then also playground equipment, which wasn't originally budgeted within the project, but as we work through the process, it did make sense to replace it, being so you are going to get some of that rubber fall protection. Now's the time, so you don't have to tear that up later. So we did get a quote on that. It's $143,930. That will be was not part of the original funding piece, but there was interest earnings on the project that can help cover that, as Amy worked hard and did a great job on the bond sale to generate excellent interest earnings. So all in all, not including the $143,930, kind of setting that to the side, we're tracking $76,889 under budget at this point, which is a great sign. We had a budget within our facility improvement measures of what you guys saw during the whole planning process of $658,382. The current quotes, competitive quotes, total $581,493. So we're off to a good start in that regard. Any questions on the kind of the initial kind of more tactical work here that's going to be taking place?
No,
All right,
I will quick interject though, Russ, that we are going to have this PowerPoint as part of the website. So there's some small words up there that are hard to read.
Yes, yeah, yes. I can only zoom in so much, but I'll go to basically the site plan now. And that, as we were working through the design process, it was brought up on the west side of the school. This is the drop-off by early childhood. Well, let me go to here once. The drop-off here.
For
The
those,
question was-
I just want to clarify, the facility that Russ is talking about is the Olivia campus.
Yes, sorry about that. Olivia, Bold High School, thank you very much. The question was, could we extend this drop-off now to around the bus drop-off so that there could be a little more early childhood drop-off in the morning? It wasn't in the original plan, but during the planning process, but we're going to bid that as an alternate so that the board can see what that costs, and you can decide if you want to move forward. It could queue. We're showing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. You can't block this, so scooch this back. You could probably queue about 8 more cars in the morning for early childhood drop-off. And also on the east side by 7th Street, there's a new outlet that will be created, asphalt outlet, so that when you come in, drop off, in the future, you can exit out with 2 exits so it'll help your traffic flow. As we go out, any questions on the drop-offs here? On the south side as well, rebuilding of your track. Also, shot put. Your long triple jump areas and pole vault. Those areas all getting rebuilt. We did shorten the chute here after talking to your athletics folks. It used to, just basically was in pretty rough shape. The asphalt all the way. There was a chute that went here and a chute that went to the north. Those chutes were shortened to the required. It still meets all the requirements for high school athletics. But we did, and then we added a sidewalk in here. So for events, there'd be a concrete sidewalk that gets you over to the stands, to the bleachers, without having to walk on the track. Kind of moving over closer to the school, rebuilding of your playground with new play equipment with the rubber, poured rubber fall protection. Over to the left here is we're going to have to tear up the street to tie onto some water and sanitary sewer, which we'll look at in just a second. Pouring asphalt for a basketball court out here. And then also an initial Gaga pit, room for an additional one, and then some foursquare, and then some new sidewalks out to the play area. As far as the drainage, which is very, very key, there'll be 9 catch basins which will be placed at the low points out in the field here. You can notice those by the, you zoom in a little bit, if that's better. These black circles are all catch basins that all get piped underground and tie into your storm sewer over on the west side of the street. Additionally, with the toilet rooms that are going to go on the southeast portion by the middle school area, south of the high school, southeast portion of this building, we're going to, while everything is tore up out here, it only makes sense to bring the sanitary sewer from 5 feet outside the building. And mechanical engineers will tie on, bring that inside the building from there. And then a couple manholes to take care of that sanitary, and then tie into your sanitary out on the west side of the street. So these are some of these, the rest of these are just kind of details of the manholes, et cetera, as well as the demo plans to start out with. But basically the items that were discussed during the planning process were part of this project and are shown here to basically drain that. Jim brought up some great ideas as well. If there's some extra money at the end to put maybe some athletic or some stations, some fitness stations kind of throughout your site. Once all the work is done and you can kind of see where they might work, they're not that invasive to create and aren't any more expensive to do later. That might be a possibility to be added as well. And as you work through kind of the process, inevitably, the new ideas get brought up and new thoughts get brought up, and we put those on we call it the design parking lot. And then as stuff gets bid out, we see how things come in budget-wise, and then also work with the district regarding, kind of the interest earnings and where you want to spend some of those dollars. And then we might be able to work some of those in as well. Some things in addition to what was originally planned, but no promises there. We just have to bid these things out piece by piece and then see where the numbers come in. On the bright side, we just bid a large asphalt project last week up in the Centennial School District. It came in about 12% under budget. We bid a brand new middle school about 4 months ago that's being built in Wisconsin, and that came in on $35 million, about $198,000 under budget. So pricing is settling down. The key is to get this stuff out, get clean documents, and get competitive numbers. And we'll definitely reach out to local contractors as much as possible, and those that can handle the schedule and the work. It'd be great to get bids from them. Anything I missed, Jim?
Not that I can think of.
Any questions you might have? We'll be bringing bids back on this work in your April board meeting, which is the 22nd, I believe, correct?
That sounds right, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Any other questions?
I think not.
All right. Well, thank you all, and thank you all for your trust in us, and thanks Jim and his staff for their participation up to this point. It's quite a ways from being done, but we've made really good progress on the design, so we're anxious to share that with you next month.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you. Bye.
Okay, let's move on to item G, our school board committee reports. So one would be the policy committee report. We will have a new record retention policy that we'll be working on developing and bringing forward for a first reading to the board. Currently, there isn't one, but will need to be put together and brought forward. So, and this kind of revolves around helping give guidance to staff, not only today, but in the future, on how long, say, time cards need to have been kept, how long receipts need to be kept, purchase orders, blah, 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 anything, documents regarding hiring and payroll. So that way there's clear policy moving forward. And then the second one is the committee will be working on developing a facility naming policy to bring forward for first reading at the next meeting. So any questions for Brian and I on policy committee? Okay. Pardon me. Are there any other school board committee reports that any other member wants to bring forward? Okay, hearing none, we will now move on to new business. So first item in new business, excuse me. Item A is our third and final reading of policy 101, which is legal status of the school district. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
So it's been moved by Member Bowen and seconded by Member Klaus to approve policy 101, legal status of the school district, which as published in the board packet. Is there any discussion? Any discussion on policy 101? Any discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion, let's move to vote on approving policy 101, legal status of the school district as printed as enclosure 8 in the board packet. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carries to approve policy 101, legal status, adopted today, March 25th, 2024. Okay. Oh my goodness. Item B is the third and final reading of policy 102, the equal educational opportunity, enclosure 9, as published in the packet. Is there a motion?
So move, Benson.
Is there a second?
I'll second that.
It's been moved by Member Benson and seconded by Member Klaus to approve policy 102, equal education opportunity as printed in the packet. Any discussion?
Just one question.
Yes.
Is this supposed to be E, F, G, or is E supposed to be skipped?
It's supposed to be E, F, and G.
Oh, okay, it looked like they were crossed out.
Yeah,
F
it's-
and G.
It's how it, yeah, that's what they're supposed to be.
Okay, perfect.
Any other questions? Any other questions on policy 102? Okay, hearing no more questions, we'll proceed to vote on approving policy 102, equal education opportunity as printed in the board packet. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carries. Policy 102, equal educational opportunity as printed in the board packet is adopted March 25th, 2024. Okay. We'll have quite a few here now that we don't need an action on, but the next one is item C, which is the second reading of policy 521, the student disability non-discrimination, enclosure 10 in the packet. So this will be brought forward at the next meeting for final reading and approval. So any questions?
Quick question. The coordinator, it's actually spelling out Brett Benson
Yeah.
specifically. The only thing with adding a particular name is then if you ever replace, then we have to update the policy or do we just leave it as the school principal?
They advise with this specific policy that not only the position, but the name is put with it.
Okay,
And so we would have to update.
okay. I was
If there's a change.
just to remember to do. it is the
Correct.
main thing.
Correct.
It is nice if you're able to leave the name off, it's nice. Like I see we've got one that still has Dale Brandsoy listed as superintendent, so.
That's where I was kind of,
Leaning towards.
yeah, exactly.
But we're at a position now with policies, we have a review schedule put in place, on which ones need to be done annually, which ones have to be done every 3 years. And so where that didn't exist about not even a year ago, that was put in place, right, Jim?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So. That's exactly. So any other questions on policy 521? Okay, let's then move on to item D, policy 522. Again, this is a second reading. Next month would be the final reading and approval. This is a little bit longer policy, but this is in regards to Title IX sex non-discrimination policy and the grievance procedure and process, enclosure 11. Any questions that came up when everyone reviewed?
So I know, Jim, you had commented that you don't usually put names in the documents, and I'm looking at D, letter D, and it says insert names and titles in there. We don't have anyone for that position, or we're gonna leave that blank?
We'll have to make a change on that.
Yes,
We've got to assign that to a,
Someone?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just making a note. Okay, anything else that anyone noticed as they reviewed?
All of these policies are pretty much through the MSBA, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. They all are. This whole set is that. Yep. Any other questions? Okay, let's move on then to item E. That's the first reading of policy 201, legal status of the school board. That's enclosure number 12. So
And
this-
that will have a new revision date on it, correct?
Yes,
Yeah.
yep. That one has very minor changes. So we'll have a second reading in April, and that would be on schedule to approve in May. Okay, let's move on then to policy 202, school board officers. That's enclosure number 13. Well, first reading again on this one, so we'd be looking at second reading in April and May approval. That one has a few more changes to it.
On page 202-3, number 5, at the top has a typo on the second line. There should be a space, and you've got 2 dates with no space.
Actually, one of those is the old date and one is the new date. October 10th should be struck, I believe, if I remember in going through that policy on the committee.
Okay.
But I'll make sure that's fixed. When it comes next month. Anything else? Okay. Let's move on to policy 203, item G, the operation of the school board and governing rules. That's enclosure 14, simple one-page policy. Brian caught one change earlier that under section 3, item C, inconsistent should be consistent. So the IN will be struck. Anything else? Okay. Let's move on then to our first reading of policy 203.1, school board procedures and rules of order. This is our first reading, so again, looking at an April 2nd review and May final approval. So very subtle and minor changes to the policy, as you can see. Any questions or comments? Any questions or comments? Okay, let's move on then to item I, which is the first reading of policy 515. That's the protection and privacy of pupil records, enclosure 16 in the packet. Again, this is going to be a large and in-depth policy due to the topic.
And this does somewhat cover some of the records retention in here. But, so we'll take a look at that. It's near the end.
Will that come out of this document and be put into a different one, or it has to be part of both?
We haven't decided yet.
You could refer to the other policy, which is not uncommon to do,
Sure.
if it's listed in there.
Sure.
And on page 515-30, I know I talked to Jim about this, letter B at the bottom. We need Jim's name in there instead of Dale Bransoy.
On page 30.
Yes, at the very bottom.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this is a good example of, it just said superintendent.
Mhm.
And that's when we can verify if we need your name, or we can drop it out and just use the title. So we'll look at that. Okay. Anything else on policy 515? Okay, let's move on then to review and assign Mariella and Brad to school board committees. So we will have a motion, please.
So moved.
Okay. Is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay. So it's been moved and seconded to assign members Marielle Klaus and Brad Osseth to school board committees. With that, is there any discussion? And I believe that there will be discussion on which committees. So,
Well, I looked at positions that were open on the enclosure that you have, and I feel I'd be an asset to the Family and Consumer Science Committee, as I do have a degree in Family and Consumer Science.
so you would like to be on that one? Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And also I would, because I'm a literacy specialist, I could see myself being an asset on the book review committee.
Okay. I would also make a note that we had an opening on finance, meet and confer, and on the negotiations, bold EA as well. And I think when we did the initial assignments at the January organizational meeting, we, as a board at that time, we didn't know who the new members were going to be coming on, and that we could potentially see reorganizing some committees, and, you know, so they might currently be filled, but if there's an interest by each of you to want to go on, someone could certainly step off at this point and be potentially reassigned to another, or not. So I know that was discussed as well.
Just to put this out there, I know the pool committee is currently spoken for, but but if at some point someone would want to change out for that, I do have a lengthy history with the pool, having worked there for many, many decades, as a lifeguard and a WSI instructor, as well as other instructor. So I feel I could have some input there.
Also a reference, typically the pool committee is a subset of the facilities committee.
It is, okay.
Just so you're aware, there'd be more to it than just the pool.
Okay.
Does anybody want to get on? They
Wouldn't
can,
necessarily have to be.
No,
No.
I'm just saying historically it has been.
yeah.
Okay.
Some of their meetings are difficult for me to make because they're in the afternoon, like the upcoming one, so if you would like to take my position, I can give that up, so.
They usually during the week.
I have to make meetings evening. I teach in Granite Falls, so I can't get back here until
Oh.
4:30. So
Then I'll stay on.
Well, Jim, historically, has that one been afternoon, so? Is it?
Typically, they're like at 5:30.
I was thinking they're usually 5:30. We just have this one that's at one.
I think it's just this one.
I think it's just this one.
okay.
It was because none of us, there was just no other time that we could get together,
Correct.
so.
Yeah, the
Always-
last
So-
one I was on it was at like noon. And we go over it last time sometimes,
Oh, was it?
but it's switched, I'm sure.
Okay.
For the pool?
I believe so.
This is
Because it was with the
Powers.
city, wasn't it?
Yeah, this is a joint powers meeting.
Yeah.
That was years ago.
Well, being pretty new, I really don't have any bias. So I would serve where push towards. How's
That
that?
kind of opened yourself up there.
Community ed, MREA is pretty, so
Yep. You want to go on MREA with me, Brad?
That's fine, yeah.
Okay, so Brad's agreeing to MREA,
that's the Minnesota Rural Education Association. It's a good group.
and they typically have a conference the second week in December, I was told.
It's about
Yeah.
2 weeks long.
how about negotiations?
Except I would serve where push towards, because I don't have any
Do you want off?
bias.
No, but there's spot for 3.
No, we had said 3 and it was open. That was my notes from the January board meeting. It wasn't marked
Yeah, there's one
Oh, for
open
teacher.
here, one open here, one open here.
for negotiation.
Finance, meet and
negotiations.
confer, negotiations.
So this is what I had. I had,
I could do the meet and confer
okay,
if they have
there is a
later
spot
meetings.
there.
That's okay.
Those are typically at the, like late afternoon,
Yeah,
like around.
Which one are we talking about?
3:30, 4 o'clock,
Yeah, they're outside of the school day, but they typically,
or right after school.
they're typically
See,
about
and I
4
won't be able
o'clock,
to make that.
Yeah.
3:30, I'm sorry.
Well,
about
it's just this,
3:30.
it would be just this spring. I'm retiring at the end of the school year. So once,
That's right.
once May is done, then I'm available.
Well, let's
Well,
put
then we
you,
can-
let's put you on, Mary.
And you can go any of them, huh?
So Mariella, you said meet and confer, and then Brad, you would be willing to do negotiations?
Sure.
Okay. And is there anyone else interested in finance?
Which negotiation?
It would be in bold EA negotiations. So it would be then Benson, Sheehan, and Osseth.
And there's not an EA contract this year, is there?
No,
Mm-mm,
there's not.
Yeah, nothing.
That's what it is.
So you got a little bit of time.
Your community ed, that's usually over noon, isn't it? Whoever like Max is over noon.
Half of them are Zoom, half of them are.
And that, yeah, there's an open position there as well.
Does that work for you?
Yeah.
That? I was on it, but I would never be there over noon. So I could never make it to it. So it's not a every month meeting or anything like that.
And the culture committee was a 0, actually. That was where we made that part of it.
So that works.
Okay, that's right, yep.
Does that work out,
Yeah, we essentially have everything
community ed?
full with community ed and with Brad and myself then. Okay,
One more spot is, yes.
so we would have a possibility for one more in finance if someone would like to.
Brad?
Is that mainly because we had 3 last year? We only have
Yes.
2
Yeah,
this year? Okay.
You can put me on there if you want.
okay. So Brad will, member Asa. Okay, so then I think that fills. So I am going to read all the committees, so everyone's on the same page going forward on what we're approving. So the committee assignments will be facilities, will be members Sheehan, Benson, and Peppel as previously listed. Finance will be members Benson, Frank, and Oseth, so that's an addition. Meet and confer will be members Benson, Bowen, and Klaus. And so Mariella is an addition. Negotiations for Bold EA will be members Benson, Sheehan, and Oseth. So member Oseth is an addition. The negotiations Bold AFCME paraprofessionals, food service, administrative assistants. That will stay as previous with members Benson, Bowen, and Peppel. Then the negotiations Bold AFSCME custodians, that will stay as it was with members Benson, Bowen, and Peppel. The Ag Advisory Committee / CTE, that will stay as it was with members Frank, Peppel, and Sheehan. The book review had member Klaus added with myself, member Frank, so that is now at 2 members. The Community Education Advisory Committee had member Oseth added with myself, member Frank, so now that is at 2 members on the committee. The Family and Consumer Science Facts Advisory Committee, that would be members Frank, Peppel, and member Klaus added, so 3 now on that committee. The Minnesota State High School League, athletics / activities hearing will be members Bowen and Sheehan as previously marked in January, so no change. The MREA has the addition of member Oseth with member Frank, so that now has 2 members. Pairing and sharing is no change with member Benson and member Frank. The Culture Committee is 0. That's actually part of Meet and Confer, so that we scratched. And then the Pool Committee is members Sheehan and Peppel, and member Frank is listed as the sub, so no change. And Policy Committee is member Frank and member Bowen, and no change to that. So with that summary, is there any more discussion? Any more discussion? Any more discussion? Okay, hearing no discussion, let's move to approve the school board committees as I just verbally listed previously. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carries. School board committees are reset with our new board membership. Okay, thank you, everybody. All right, item K, so adopt a resolution to recognize outstanding achievement, enclosure 18 in the packet. With that, I'll read the resolution and I'll ask for member to bring it forward and then a second later on. Member Klaus introduced the following resolution and moved its adoption. Resolution to recognize outstanding achievement. Whereas the School Board of Independent School District number 2534 adopted a resolution on March 25th, 2024 to recognize outstanding achievement by its students. Whereas the Wilmer Hockey Co-op and Gabby Revere for participation in the Girls State Hockey Tournament. Whereas wrestlers Edgar Kofel and Austin Kicker for their participation in the state individual wrestling tournament. The school board commends you on your hard work, dedication to your sport team, program, and school. The motion for adoption of the foregoing resolution was duly seconded by
Benson.
Member Benson. And upon vote being taken thereon, the following voted in favor thereof. Member Sheehan.
Aye.
Member Klaus.
Aye.
Member Benson.
Aye.
Member Bowen.
Aye.
Member Rossett.
Aye.
Member Peppel.
Aye.
And Member Frank is an aye as well. And no one voted against, and no one was absent, and the resolution was declared adopted today, March 25th. Okay, thank you. All right, the next item on our agenda is to approve hiring of summer workers. Is there a motion?
So moved, Pepple.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by Member Peppel and seconded by Member Sheehan to approve hiring of summer workers. Jim, I would assume you want to give a little background here and
Yeah, so
start a
every
discussion.
summer we hire some additional workers to help out. Typically, we've hired 3 custodial. Typically, they're kids or college kids. This summer it's going to be a shortened summer, and there's a lot going to be going on. And so Denny's requesting that we up that to 5. Again, we're losing 2 weeks in the summer, which is huge. And then with all of the other things that are going on, they're like the asbestos removal and things like that. We're gonna need the help. Scanning. There's a great deal of information that is on papers that date back to, I couldn't even guess, 30s and 40s maybe. It's all stored in a safe that's underneath the forgotten bathrooms next to the where we now have the art room. It is packed full of papers, and we're scanning all that stuff in. We're hoping to get 3 people. Those aren't 3 full-time. It would be about 60 hours a week. We're looking for, we'll have to hire some food service workers, probably 1 or 2. It really depends on who returns or who from the current staff wants to work over the summer. And then paras for Jumpstart and preschool. The Jumpstart ones are just for a few weeks, but we're going to look for 3 or 4.
How many for food service?
We're looking at 1 to 2. I would just say 2,
And 3 for scanning.
and 3 for scanning it. Yeah.
Any other discussion or questions? Anything else for discussion or questions?
How is that posted to? Is it just through the school?
No, we'll post it. We'll post the position. It'll be on the EdFi website through St. Cloud State, wherever else we put it, paper, I guess, our typical posting places, Facebook.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. Hearing no more questions or discussion, we'll proceed to vote on approve hiring of summer workers. Because this is a hiring decision, we will have a roll call vote by each individual person.
Wouldn't that be to approve the actual person?
Well, it's
However, it
It's
doesn't matter.
positions.
Sure.
So, and you describe the positions. So,
We're approving how many people.
Correct.
Yes.
correct.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, they would be brought in at another meeting.
Yeah,
The
so, because
individuals.
we don't even know who those people are
So
yet,
correct,
so.
we would not need to do a roll call. It would be just a general voice vote. Because we're just giving permission to proceed with.
Right.
With this scope of summer hires. So, correct. Okay. Any other discussion? Okay. Hearing none, then we're going to proceed to vote with approve hiring of summer workers. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carries to approve the hiring of summer workers. Item M, that would be to approve a Bold football donation campaign to raise funds to replace the tree line that was formerly at the southern end of the football field with 8 to 10 foot tall pine trees. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by member Bowen and seconded by member Oseth to approve a Bold football donation campaign to raise funds to replace the tree line that was formerly at the southern end of the football field with 8 to 10 foot tall pine trees. Is there any discussion or questions?
I got a quick question. So the trees that were there are old and they're completely gone. So why are we doing only the south and not the north? What's the purpose of just the south?
I think a big part of the south side is that there's usually a field over there, and when they harvest and things blow across, it blows in. Is part of it. I'm
'Cause-
assuming.
Because I would think if you're trying to do the wind, the north side would be, the
North wind?
north wind is usually,
There's
Derek, you
already
wanna-
trees on the north end. There's pine trees on the north end.
There was just big poplar trees on the other end.
When they put the
Messy.
field in 97, they put the fastest growing trees they could find. 20-year life cycle, and they've all died and had been taken down, and it looks bad, and it's, yeah, like Bo said, you get harvest time and it's gonna be
comes right
a
through.
cornfield on top of our grass.
Have you ever checked with like the DNR? Because sometimes they give trees away.
A lot of times the ones that give away is like a.
Yeah, they're tiny.
Yeah.
We're talking.
You want to get bigger ones right
These
away.
are big
Okay,
trees.
gotcha.
And Rainbow County does not do that.
They don't do anything?
You have to, Cañon County does, but you have to be a resident in Cañon County. Because I had to talk to a friend of mine who wants to put trees around his building site. And Cañon County has a program to do that, Renville does not.
Really? Because they used to. Years,
They do, we don't.
really.
So he had to go buy his own trees, I guess.
Could maybe
How many
be part of the
trees
fundraiser.
and how much are we looking at?
It's a fundraiser.
Basically trying to run the width of the outside of the track, east to west. We're looking at roughly 30 trees if we stagger them.
Okay, any other questions or discussion?
How much do they usually run a tree?
We're getting a pretty good deal on. I don't know what they normally run. We're gonna get 8 to 10 foot pines for about $380 each.
Okay.
This won't interfere with the construction, will it? The track?
No, we've talked to Nexus about that.
Yeah, they know all about it.
Okay,
Do you know what kind of campaign you're gonna do?
We're gonna offer the ability to donate a tree for a certain dollar amount. We're also gonna try to do something for smaller donations for people that can't afford a $500 donation for a tree and delivery. Just kind of working through alumni and some of the supporters here.
any other questions? Okay, any other questions? Any other questions? All right, with that, we will now proceed to vote. So all in favor to approve a Bold football donation campaign to raise funds to replace the tree line that was formerly at the southern end of the football field with 8 to 10 foot tall pine trees. If you're in favor, say aye.
Aye.
If you oppose, nay. Motion carries to approve a Bold football donation campaign to raise funds to replace the tree line that was formerly at the southern end of the football field with 8 to 10 foot tall pine trees. Okay, item N, to approve a SNAP Raise fundraiser for the Bold softball program. Is there a motion?
So
Is there a second?
Second.
So it's been moved by member Bowen and seconded by member Peppel to approve a SNAP Raise fundraiser for the Bold softball program. Is there any discussion?
What is SNAP raise?
Does anyone know what SNAP Raise is for the fundraiser?
Somebody does. There's nobody here.
I have no idea.
I have a hard time voting on something I don't even know what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I'd have got a question ahead of time, I could have.
Yeah.
Found
I
out.
did. Well, it's for the girls softball.
Any-
do you have
Well-
Jessica's number?
I do.
I do, I just texted her, but
What did the SNAP raise? Could we go to the school calendar and see if she gets back to us?
Let's, I need a motion to table this to the end of the new business then. And then we'll get today.
okay.
Yes.
It's
Wait. Hold on,
clothing.
hold
It's
on.
clothing.
Derek?
This is from track, actually. It's not softball, it should be track.
Oh.
So
Okay.
then we have to amend the agenda.
I just need a quick motion to amend and replace softball with track.
I so move to replace the softball with the track
Is there a
program.
second to the amendment?
I'll second it.
So it's been moved by member Klaus and seconded by member Bowen to replace softball with track.
Did you find out what it is?
Just wait, I just got a text back from Jess. Never mind.
I see it's custom, it looks like custom.
It's an online donation campaign. It's a fundraiser these businesses set up for, I got an email from Yankee about it. Online program to get donations for the boosters. Typically, it involves the kids sending out some contacts that are then asked to make a donation. They've been done for baseball, they've been done for softball, they've been done for basketball and football in the past.
Okay,
Not snap raise exactly, but similar kind of campaign.
so is this one with track or is it with softball?
This is just track.
Track.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
It's like a GoFundMe.
So,
Yes.
Yeah.
all right, so we're still talking about the amendment here. So it's been moved by member Klaus and seconded by member Moen to replace softball with track. Is there any more discussion on the amendment? Any discussion on the amendment? Any discussion on the amendment? Okay, we're gonna vote on the amendment. So all in favor to replace softball with track, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Okay, the amendment carries. Now we're gonna move, go back to the motion, which now states approve SNAP Raise fundraiser for the Bold Track program. So any discussion on that? Any discussion? Any discussion on approving the SNAP Raise fundraiser for the Bold Track program? Okay. Hearing no more discussion, we will proceed to vote. All those in favor of approving the SNAP Raise fundraiser for the Bold Track program, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carries to approve the SNAP Raise fundraiser for the Bold Track program. All right, thank you everyone on getting through that. Okay, now on to item O. That would be to approve the 2024 through 2025 school calendar, enclosure 19 in the packet. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by member Bowen and seconded by member Asseth to approve the 2024 through 2025 school calendar as printed in the packet. Are there any questions or discussion? Any questions or discussion?
And I
So-
know we noted that there were no built-in snow days the last time that we looked at it. I did talk to Jim. I didn't know if Bold had e-learning days, and I found out they do have e-learning days. In the event that we would use our snow days and e-learning days, what you would look at other options then to fulfill the hours required by the state?
We would look at staff development done on, for teachers on their own time, basically.
Okay.
That's about the only other option we would have.
And I know this last calendar, we had input snow days, but in the interest to move to the earlier, have a longer construction season for the upcoming building project,
Mhm.
I think it's in our best interest to move forward and hope that we have minimal snow days in the 2024-2025 calendar year, and we'll work through it as a board and as a community. Any other discussion? Any other discussion?
Question.
Yes.
So I see they have 2 full weeks for Christmas, New Year's timeframe. They would have to come, or the first would definitely be a day off. But would it make sense, and I realize it's only 2 days, but the second and third potentially come back and then move those to maybe the Easter as alternative days if there is snow days, like I'm just, sorry, I don't know if I should be asking this
No,
question.
I asked the same question.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
Well, not earlier today.
they've put a lot of work into this. We do have to get it out and, you know, that's why we had it out there a month ago, so we could get those questions out there and answered and,
Sure.
you know, we could probably designate the second and third as a snow makeup day for if there is a day in the first quarter, or semester. However, the end of the semester is on the 20th. To add a last day of school of first semester, essentially 2 weeks later, is sort of meaningless. So we can do that, but it's focusing on seat time rather than quality time.
Yeah, and typically your snow days are gonna be in January, February, and March, or the later part of January, February, and March. And so then it's figuring it out.
And your actual last day is not on here. We talked about that too. So that would be the 16th.
May 16th, end of the quarter, yeah.
Says May 16th, last day of school, early dismissal, 1 p.m.
Oh, up there it does.
Yeah, it's on there.
Oh, there it is. Okay.
And then the following Monday and Tuesday are staff development day. And then you'll need a certain amount of time to start moving things and before any construction can begin in the area. So,
Yeah,
yeah.
it's gonna be tight. I talked to Mr. Flan, he suggested maybe we pay a team to come in and all you need is muscle to move things into a hallway or into the gym. So we'll probably look at doing something like that.
Okay. Any other questions on the calendar? Anything else? Okay, let's now move to vote then on approving the 2024 through 2025 school calendar as published as enclosure 19 in the packet. All in favor, say aye.
I
Oppose? Motion carries to approve the 2024 through 2025 school calendar as published in the packet. Okay. Item P. That would be to approve our Fortis roofing contract, enclosure 20 in the packet, and that will require a motion. Is there a motion by a member?
So moved, Pepple.
Okay, member Peppel, is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by member Peppel and seconded by member Sheehan to approve the Fortis roofing contract. Is there any discussion?
Is this roofing portion any part of the things with Nexus, or is this totally separate?
Yeah, so what it is they come in, they redo the parts of the roof and then they re-warranty the roof.
Okay,
So
that's-
they extend the warranty for 12 years, basically.
My only concern with the Brown project over the roof in Brown, it's a rock roof right now. They got rock on top of it. So Fortress came and looked at it and they found, they would repair any leaks in there. But I don't know how they can open up every seam with the rock and make sure that it doesn't leak. And with the project going on in Brown with the new flooring going down, that would be very bad if that roof leaks. We just installed brand new flooring. So the only other option would be is to put a brand new roof on Brown and then have Fortress do the rest of the schools, the rest of the school. That would come out of the budget to put a new roof on for that. But I'm okay with, that's my only feeling.
I assume this was discussed in the
So
the buildings or facilities committee, and consensus by the committee was what?
To approve the Fortress.
So what does Fortis say about it? Is there,
What did they say about
what are the chances that they miss stuff or what? It's all,
They're not gonna tell you that.
I mean, it's all covered. That's all I'm saying is what if it leaks?
Well, so they don't warranty the stuff that's inside.
They don't warranty the damage other than to the roof, to repair.
Is that rock loose on the roof? Or is it?
Yes, just
That's typical, yeah. It's basically holding down all of the rubber on the
The rubber
roof,
membrane.
and then it keeps the sun off of the rubber. And it's actually a big reason why they're able to re-warranty it. They love these rock roofs because the sun never hits most of that rubber. So it's as good. They say it's as good today as it was when they installed it because of that. It's the sun that damages all that stuff. So
But also you could look at it as like, if it does leak, we're gonna know now with the weather that we're having. And any damage to the floor now would be good, not good, but now's the time for it to be damaged. So we can get that roof, then they can come in and make the repairs. And then we can move on with the new floor.
Is it leaking at all now? Do you know? I guess you'd have to Like today with all this wet stuff, did it leak?
Yeah, we'll go check it out. I haven't heard anything, but nobody was over there, so.
I know earlier, there was a leak around the vent that got fixed, but that was a membrane around the vent,
Sure.
not where a seam or anything else was. And that was over one of the bleachers.
Today they were working on the leak in the boys' locker room.
In the gym, is there a way to get like a lift in there and go up from the inside and look to see where those leaks are coming from?
I think the problem is that you've got the inside ceiling and that leak could be here and it could be running over
Dripping
here
down over.
and then coming through here. So just because you see it right there, it doesn't mean that's where the leak is. That's just,
Say, Todd, on, I don't know what page number this is, but it'd be right before the reconditioning statement of common defects. There's like 7 points here on it. BM rough reconditioning areas of focus. The very last one, the field of the roof, including through examination for open seams and laps, blisters, punctures, cuts, etc. You know, unless I'm misunderstanding that, I think that is the seams, though, isn't it? All seams?
I would think so, but in order to do that, you're gonna take the
They
rock
they
off,
would have
Yeah,
to
they
put
would
the rock
take
back
rock away
on the
to
seam
inspect that.
and then put it back.
Which looking at it, maybe if it leaks now, it would be a good thing. Maybe that, you know, then we would know. So we can have it all fixed before we get a new flooring installed. So
Yeah.
kind of changing.
well, that is the plan, yeah. So.
No, I hear your concern.
Oh, yeah. Last thing we want to do is have to repair it.
Okay, any other discussion on the Fortis roofing contract?
So what was the recommendation of the facilities committee then? To replace the roof?
No,
No,
to use
just
Fortis
to
to
use
do
this.
this.
But that was the one thing that was raised as well there.
Okay.
But the savings potential there was tremendous.
It was,
too,
yes, it was
when you look
huge.
at the comparison
I saw it somewhere.
of doing Fortis compared to replacement. Have the number.
It's like on the third page.
Total financial benefit of about $750,000.
Yeah.
And then after that's all done, then you set up your plan to regularly do your roofs and instead of waiting. That'll be good.
Yep.
The Bird Island roofs are still under warranty. So they're looking into whether or not, I shouldn't say all of them, they're looking into whether or not the gym roof is actually one of the warranted roofs. I didn't know what I was looking at when I was reading that. So Megan took that information and our fingers are crossed that might just be done under warranty. So we don't know. There's one roof that is up, the warranty's up sometime this year, and then there's another roof over there that has 1 year left. So
I was thinking the one that was up, abutted the old gym.
and it could be.
I was thinking on the south, or on the, I'm sorry, on the, I got it, on the west side, I think.
Yeah, I don't know.
I've got all that back, another binder at home. Any other questions or discussion? Okay, with that, let's move then to vote, as there's no more questions or discussion on approving the Fortis roofing contract. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carries to approve the Fortis roofing contract as the enclosure in the packet. Okay. Item Q, to seek dairy bids for a 3-year contract beginning with the 2024-25 school year. Is there a motion?
I so moved.
I heard Mariella first, so is there a second?
Second.
It's been moved by member Klaus and seconded by member Peppel to seek dairy bids for a 3-year contract beginning with the 2024 through 2025 school year. Is there any discussion? Any discussion? Any discussion? I would just say I'm glad we're moving forward with this because I know this last year we had a heck of a time getting a milk bid.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we're starting early on this. So any other discussion? Okay, hearing no more discussion or questions, we'll move to vote on seeking dairy bids for the 3-year contract beginning with the 2024 through 25 school year. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carries to seek the dairy bids. Okay. Okay, we are now on to section 11. So I'm glad we didn't get through having it go up to Z on the new business. Section 11, so it's to adopt a resolution to acknowledge and accept gifts, grants, and bequests. It's enclosure number 21 in the packet. So I will start to read the resolution and I'll ask for a member to put their name forward. Member Peppel introduced the following resolution and moved its adoption. Whereas Ultimate Medical, Inc. has generously donated $500 to the Bold Robotics, therefore be it resolved by the Bold School Board to gratefully accept this gift. The motion for adoption of the foregoing resolution was duly seconded by member Klaus, and upon vote being taken thereon, the following voted in favor thereof. Member Sheehan?
Aye.
Member Klaus?
Aye.
Member Benson?
Aye.
Member Bowen?
Aye.
Member Oseth?
Aye.
Member Peppel?
Aye.
And member Frank, myself is an aye. No one voting against and no one abstaining. The foregoing resolution was approved this 25th day of March 2024. Okay. So we have one upcoming date, that would be April 22nd, the regular school board meeting in the district office at 7:00 p.m. And I would also bring forward that at 6:15 p.m. we'll be having a work session to do review our board goals and do a policy review and discussion prior to the meeting.
Is that in here?
It'll be here in the district office at 6:15. So also put that on your calendar on April 22nd. Okay, any other items? Okay, with that, is there a motion to adjourn? Is there a second?
I'll second that.
It's been moved by member Sheehan and seconded by member Klaus to adjourn. Any discussion? Discussion? Okay, all in favor of adjourning, say aye.
Aye.
Oppose? Motion carries to adjourn at 8:48 p.m. There was a lot of items on new business.
That's what I'm doing, put it in my phone, otherwise I'll forget.
Sorry, 6:15, meeting to, was it closed door or what was it? I didn't catch it.
We're gonna, no, it's not a closed door. It's
I
a
just
work
didn't catch
session
it. Work session,
and
okay.
it'll be to
So I was
Go
reading
through our
the
board
Golf
goals.
magazine today a little bit, and they talked to Tiger
and
Woods.
policy.
And he's got 2 teenagers,